What's up, guys, and welcome to Gameville TV. DP Joe here, joined with me by our good friend John.
What's up, guys?
John.
I'm filling in. Let us know if the audio levels is fine and if you guys are enjoying this nice island music going on. Do you guys like it? How do you guys feel? Is it good or not good? Looking at the chat right now. Sorry if I'm looking away from the camera. It's not because there's like something off there that's really pretty or anything like that.
Oh, is there no sound? Someone's saying no sound already.
Is there no sound?
Are you guys lying?
My device is turned way down. Wow.
That's pretty troll, man. That's pretty troll. That's pretty troll.
Is the sound okay?
That's good.
Is the sound? Let me say.
Let me type it out now for you.
Okay.
Dang.
Yes. Okay. Right. Good. We're good.
Making sure.
So, Joe, introduce us.
So today, guys, we're going to be providing you guys a little guide to streaming mobile games to Twitch. We've been getting a lot of requests, essentially asking about how we kind of do it, what our setup is. Because it's very easy for like PC gaming and console gaming, because a lot of that stuff is kind of built into it. So for today, this is going to be just a little bit of background and a little bit of if you guys want to potentially look into becoming a future mobile streamer, you can get some tips from us and kind of see what our setup is. Maybe kind of get some tips from John, and essentially to see what he kind of does to kind of make sure our broadcasts are good to go. And for the most part, there's a lot more than meets the eye when it comes to streaming mobile and whatnot. So
right. We've been getting some kind of a lot of people who are interested in asking us like, how do you guys stream? What do you guys do and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be a good idea to share with you guys the stream my knowledge and expertise and prowess and master.
Just building yourself up. I like
it. All my degrees and licenses in XSplit in Twitch streaming, especially for mobile gaming, because streaming mobile games is a little bit more tricky than streaming console gaming or PC gaming.
How so, though? How so, John?
Well, because you got to use like a tablet or something like that. It's like many hoops to go through. Whereas streaming with PC, it's like the game is already on your computer. You just gotta, copy it into your whatever your broadcasting thing is.
So essentially what we're going to be doing for the first hour or so, John's going to kind of take us through kind of like the importance of not only Twitch, but just kind of sharing some of his insights into why it's important. And then we're going to also kind of delve into essentially kind of some tips and stuff. I know you've kind of presented some, or you kind of have some stuff prepared to review and kind of go over. So if you guys have any questions throughout our show, keep in mind this is going to be more of like kind of like an informative kind of. I know it's not really about any of our games, but this was just something we wanted to kind of do just to kind of cater to that audience that is interested in doing something like that, right? So as you guys are kind of seeing the show unfold, feel free to throw out questions. I know this was something similar that we did with, if you guys remember, we did a Gameville Draws one, right, where we had Lawrence kind of come on. He took some ideas from you guys, kind of went through like the processes, sharing some of the tools he uses. So this is just going to be, if you guys want to figure some more stuff and how to do this, and then, as well as accumulate points. So feel free to chime in with any kind of questions and or comments you guys might have. Even if you guys have had success in doing some mobile streams, maybe share some insight into what you have. So John, the floor is yours. Let's take it away, my friend.
All right. Let me address something in the chat. Prank Master, we don't stream on Saturdays, so the reason why you miss a Saturday stream is probably that reason. Yeah, we only do Wednesdays and Fridays.
Unless it's Saturday your time, or unless it's
unless
Friday.
That's what he's probably trying to say.
Yeah. So we're shooting for about 2 hours long mark. Obviously, though, we're going to be, changing things up though every for the 1 hour, and then the next hour we're going to talk about a little bit more stuff and whatnot. So, sit back, earn some points, listen to the soothing music of
Island. Okay, so before I start, I just wanted to know how many of you guys already stream. I know we follow a bunch of our followers, our viewers who stream, and we have like Avastion
streams,
Big Bellin streams, Dragon Blaze. A lot of the After Pulse guys do also stream.
Yeah.
Udun Sun, I think. Does he stream or he just makes
the last I just thought he does
Just
YouTube
YouTube?
videos.
Yeah, just YouTube.
Yeah. So
there's a few.
looks like Miradon has streamed a couple times
Miradon
too.
stream
So
occasionally. Oh, really? Then we'll follow you, Miradon.
nice.
Follow
Okay.
you. I didn't know that. If you guys follow, let us know. We'll follow. If you guys stream, let us know. We'll
Yes.
follow you guys, and then we're actually gonna try to start to do this thing where we're gonna try to support our community of streamers. If you look at the bottom of this of our Twitch page, there's a little button that says like join our stream community or something like that, and then in that case we'll try to like work something out and to feature you guys or whatever.
Indeed.
Anyways, so Gameville guys to streaming. Let's begin, right? How do I go to the next one? There we go.
Yeah. Oh man.
Why?
Opening it up strong. I love it.
I made this very cute PowerPoint presentation for you guys. I did it really quickly in a couple hours. So I'm not the best at PowerPoint. But anyways, why should we stream? Why should we stream, Joe? What's the reason?
Pretty much.
I put all the answers are
oh,
there.
okay.
Anyways.
I mean,
I should have made it so there's like
that's
animations or
kinda
whatever,
your-
like
I know,
reveal
I've-
the answer or something.
I've always said, where's the fat white guy? Oh, I didn't. Did you even see that?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he's living on in memory, guys. No, I've always told people like Twitch is kind of, especially for a company, it's advertisement. It's building brand awareness.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think
From the company side, yes.
From the company side,
Yeah.
and honestly, it's for a gaming company. It's very like you have an audience that really kind of utilizes this kind of tool a lot. Whether it's streaming themselves, watching streams.
Yes.
It's very it's a big focal point for the gaming industry and for the gaming community. So it's kind of one of those things like how can you sell a product if you don't really know what your audience is wanting in that
Right.
kind of sense, right? So that for me has always been the thing about streaming, like free advertisement and building brand awareness. Company-wise, at least.
Right, company-wise. To give you guys some kind of insight on myself and my knowledge of streaming, I've been streaming since at least 2009, 2010 maybe. I've been on and off streaming, and I've tried multiple platforms, but even since then, streaming has been getting like much of a bigger impact on gaming and specifically, and more towards entertainment. So now we have these days, Facebook is getting into streaming. Maybe Twitter is getting into streaming. All these different platforms are experimenting in the world of live streaming, right?
Right.
So so it's a growing market, as you can see over here. The benefits between the broadcaster and the viewer is immediate, which is really good for us as a company standpoint.
Right.
And if we want to publicize our game, it's very low cost, and also the feedback is immediate. Like anything that we say is we can see from you guys in the chat, and anything that you guys in the chat think about, we'll get to know immediately. Whereas advertising and marketing, that kind of comes down the line of whenever it starts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Really quickly, I wanted to address. There's a couple people asking.
Yeah, sure.
Lucky, in terms of your reward, keep in mind that for our Revlo rewards, when we send out stuff for that, it can potentially take a while to.
We send it out by
process.
hand, right?
Yeah.
So, and then recently we've had some changes in our, community our team, as you may know.
Yeah.
So the items have been kind of pushed back, but they will be sent by the end of this week.
Yeah, we have a
I
list
hope.
of everybody that always puts in for their stuff. So while it does take time, and we apologize for the delay in getting those out, they will be delivered. So
Right.
we'll try to get an update on that as soon as possible. So yeah, continue. Sorry, I just wanted to
Yeah,
address
no problem. I mean, the best part about streaming is that it's fun.
Yeah.
In general, like the viewers like it, we like doing it, so that's.
And it gives you it gives you a way to kind of for the first 6 months that we were doing it, I remember we had discussed doing let's start doing like a Twitch stream, Gamebo stream, and I think we kind of were presented with that obstacle of like, well, there's not a lot of mobile streams. What can we do? What?
Right.
And rather than focusing on the negatives or the bad of like, well, no one else is doing it, we thought of like, well, if no one else is doing it, that gives us a kind of
the leaders.
Yeah, we can kind of be that proprietor or the pioneer of mobile streaming.
Yeah,
That's not to say that it's never been done, but I mean, like you don't see a lot of like mobile companies or a lot of mobile streams or they're not as popular as PC games that Blizzard always does these like dev streams, and those are really crazy.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, it's something that just hasn't been really done a lot for mobile. So
right.
It was one of those things that the more we thought about it, the more we were like, okay, cool, let's go ahead and try this out. And there were obviously some difficulties along the way, figuring out some stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's
right.
evolved for the better today. So
yeah, streaming is definitely like a new thing that's emerged. There's going to be a lot of issues. So for those of you who are in the chat thinking about, I want to start my own stream, hopefully this guide will lead you along the way, and you'll be able to make your own mistakes like we have, and things like that.
Just for instance, I know everyone always talks about audio issues like that.
Yeah, right, you see the chat.
Audio.
The chat, low volume.
Audio issues are one of the can be a very difficult thing to kind of overcome. There's so many different things that you have to take into account, and I know everyone always like jokes about like, I wonder if there's going to be an audio issue at the beginning of this stream. There's a lot of factors to take in sometimes, and it's like when you have limited resources sometimes, and you're kind of under the gun. It's like there's these things that might fall through the cracks. So it's one of those things that unless you're like a professional studio, like like the even Riot, who does their big LCS broadcast, they have issues every now and then. So it's not everything is going to be like 100% perfect. So it's a constantly you have to keep high maintenance on it. You know what I mean? So
right. The girl 42 asking about esports teams and Fishing Superstar Season 5 streaming or something like that. Esports is a really huge driving force behind streaming, or maybe it's the other way around. Streaming is a huge driving force behind esports. So I mean, I personally welcome esports.
Yeah.
Welcome our esports overlords. All right, so before we get into like the real stuff, what do we need to stream? I'll talk about what kind of things that you'll need to think about and go for if you're thinking about creating your own channel, right? So, in the order of importance, the number one thing you'll need before starting your stream is internet. Internet is the most important thing. The most important. If you don't have internet, if you don't have Wi-Fi, how are you gonna stream? You're gonna stream 4G. How that's like how are you gonna send a message through owls and stuff?
I gotta have my aim, dude. I gotta send those instant messages. They need to know what's
Put
going
it
on.
in a bottle and then throw it in the ocean.
Yeah.
This is my stream. Anyways, you need to get internet, and you gotta get good internet. So there's two things to internet. One is download speed, and the other is upload speed. Download speed is only it doesn't really matter that much in terms of streaming because you're the one that's kind of giving the information, right?
Right.
Having a lot of download speed is only good if you wanna, watch videos or download illegal movies or something like that.
Yeah. Let it be known that the list isn't based off of the most important. It's basically saying like the materials you're probably going to need to construct one. So something to stream is not the least important. Let me just throw that out there.
Yeah.
In a sense. Okay.
So yeah, get that good internet. Number 2 and 3, we need some hardware and software. I'll cover the hardware and software next, right?
Is there a mediumware?
Mediumware, hardware, software, medium. There could be, yeah, right.
Or smedium.
Smediumware.
A smediumware.
Extra medium.
I'm a fan already. Boom.
We'll need a talent. So I mean, we're lucky to have Joe.
That's right.
The talent also has to be creative, right? We need some creativity, and then we need something to stream. So we're gonna stream some games.
Talent is the least important.
Whatever you guys.
Why?
Yeah, talent is pretty important, right? All right. So first off, we're gonna talk about hardware. Hardware. Number one thing that you're gonna need right, is their computer. And then there's other things like mic, audio, camera, and then some additional things, capture card, lighting, wires, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so before we go on,
okay.
This was obviously some questions I had. Right?
Yeah, right.
In terms of so what does a capture card do?
I'll get to that.
Okay,
I'll get to that towards the end.
Because there's a distinct difference between kind of like the way we have set up a stream versus like
Other way.
Another way of like a personal stream, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to kind of. If this is something that you do cover later in the stream, I'd like to have something that like separates those two, or that we can kind of like have that differentiate talk about it. So
yeah, so we'll go in the order of computer, mic, audio, camera, and then additional. Okay, starting off with computer. Oh, and by the way, this picture is all the stuff that we use for our stream.
Yeah, this is everything that's currently in our box.
Yeah, GeForce 970. Dang. All right, so
go through
number
the process
one
of creating the machine.
Number one, you're gonna need a computer. You don't necessarily need the best computer in the world. You can even use a laptop or whatever like that. But the two things you have to be concerned about when thinking about making a computer for streaming, one is the processor and the CPU. So you're gonna be CPU is the processing unit.
Okay.
Processor and CPU. Processor and that's like the same thing, right? Sorry.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I said different things, but
it is what it is. Yeah.
Anyways, you need a good processor in order to. You're going to be having a lot of things going on your computer, so it's going to have a high amount of like tasks and whatnot, right? So if you have a kind of low end processor, i3 or whatever, it's going to be really difficult to push out that video. So make sure you get a higher one, at least Intel i5. This is for PCs, right? And then for Macs, maybe you're gonna have whatever. I'm not a huge Mac guy. Whatever the newest Mac is, MacBook Pro or not MacBook Pro. What is it?
It's actually called the MacBook 2016.
Whatever Mac
official title, right?
Whatever the newest Mac. Get the most expensive Mac out there.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of comment on the free stylo. Essentially saying creativity is the most important. I absolutely agree.
Right.
One of the biggest tasks that is something that we have to constantly look at and try to overcome is obviously falling into the repetition. It's difficult because we have an idea in mind of like kind of what we want to do, but then sometimes like you also have to look at what does drive activity, what kind of drives an audience. Like for instance, like I know we have a really dedicated Critica, Afterpulse, Dragon Blaze community. So when we have those updates that kind of come out, those are the kinds of show. And while they kind of do become, I don't want to say repetitive. It's just like there kind of is an overwhelming number of streams that can kind of go on like that. But at the same time, like they do well. So it's one of those things that we have to kind of like think of like, okay, so if we're doing these Dragon Blaze shows, how can we maybe do something different? And there's going to be I'm going to explore different changes and stuff like that. And this is even something I was going to actually ask you guys probably throughout the next couple weeks of like, what would you like to see us do in the sense of streams, rather than just doing updates and this and that.
We'll get to the like outer parts of the stream towards the end of the show. Okay. We'll talk about that. But right now we're talking about like just the hardware. Okay?
Sure.
So if you guys have questions about hardware, I'll be glad to answer.
Other than that, shut up. Yeah, totally.
Other than that, So
what's up, Dark Shadow? Welcome.
The next most important thing is your video processing unit, your graphics card, basically. So also, as I mentioned, you'll be pushing out video to the internet, and it does take a lot of power. So if you have like a low like a laptop, it's really difficult for a laptop to do all these processes because it has to take in the video, process it, and then push it out. It has to do all this stuff. So you're gonna want to have at least a decent one. The GPU is really important. These days they have like the 1080 whatever 4K blah blah blah. You don't need all that crazy stuff, but it really depends on it really depends on what kind of stream you're going for. You know?
The video card needs to be big enough that it doesn't even fit inside of the computer case, is what you're saying.
That's actually my video card. It doesn't fit in my case.
Oh my
the
God.
one that I have at home for my computer. Buy a 5969X or something, according to, who said that? Prankmeister?
Yeah, I believe so.
Prankmeister said that. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about the mic audio. Oh, do I have a camera one? Oh, that's the next one. Okay, so, right. I thought the camera one came first.
Of course.
So the once you have a stream going and you're able, not a stream going, but once you have the idea of the stream, the really basic parts of the stream there are three. One is going to be, if you're doing gaming, one is going to be your game content, like your video coming from the game, right? Number two is going to be the mic. So the mic is probably one of the most important accessories that you're going to have because it's a way for you to chat to the stream, right? It would be nice to have video, but I mean, it's hard for you to relay information through video, right? You can't like hold signs up with text like, hey, how's this going, blah, 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 you know, like what is that one scene from Sleepless in Seattle or whatever, you know?
I like to think it's those YouTube videos of like them being like, I was bullied, and now here I am with no cards. Is that too? Not that I have anything against those people.
So actually, camera is not as important as a mic. So having a mic is really good.
That's good, AJ. Yeah, you definitely don't want them sound issues.
Yeah, you don't want sound issues. That's why it's really important. Sound issues all day. Over here at Gameville. So let me talk about some mics that you can have, right? A lot of people will go for their onboard mic if they're using a laptop. Laptops usually have a built-in mic, but the quality is kind of, not that great. I really implore you to buy an external mic of some kind. And there's many different ones that you can get. So here's a few options that are low cost to high cost, right?
Yeah. Is there any difference in like if you're looking to do something specifically? Because I know, we have like shoutcasters for different obviously esports stuff that use like the headsets and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
We have the lavaliers, which are the ones you guys know can like stick to your shirt, and those are like more for like I guess like interviews and stuff like that in that sense.
We have a lavalier right here, actually.
Oh, do we? I guess in the sense of for mics, is there anything you want to like shoot for if you're doing something specific? You know what I mean? Like, is there a mic that's better suited for specific circumstances?
So right, in those cases that you're thinking about, what type of mic should I use, right? In our case, like we're streaming here right in front of a camera and a desk. It's kind of like a podcast kind of setting. So that one, we can just share one large mic, right?
Right.
But if you're thinking about using lavaliers, the reason why you use lavaliers over sharing mic is like in the case where you can't share a mic, right? So let's say we're far away from each other. Mm-hmm. That means we need our own individual mics, right? So you can go in the way of, I'm going to use my own mic in my hand, but let's say I want to use like hand motions, or I want to type something or play a game, you know? So in that case, a lavalier would be more important, right?
Okay.
Or and then the next level would be like, oh, I want to have like a headset, maybe there's a crowd outside or something like that, or it's really important for me to hear something like in the game, or
I'm in a mental institution, there's a lot of people screaming the next room over, those kinds of
or if I want to hear the guy next to me better,
I was a huge fan of the Bob Barker mic, so the very like just skinny ones, and it's like, hello, we're here on the stream, and when I have this mic, I make these kinds of accents. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just kind of going with it. Bob. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? Those like old showcasey ones, like
the ones that come down from the ceiling. That's like
the boom mics, or
no, the one that you're in a boxing match, and then the guy comes down and is like, let's get ready to rumble.
You just have one person just behind us, just like holding the mic on a string, like, come on, dang it. Yeah, I like it. I like
in all those cases, it all really depends on what kind of scene that you're trying to do,
sure,
and like what kind of So for us, for most people and for us, a desktop mic is probably the best choice. And some people said, our karaoke mic. Some people are giving suggestions. The Razer Kraken, all those things. The HyperX Cloud or Logitech headsets. So here, let me show you the mic that we use. Sorry, there might be some sound of me picking this up. This is the Blue Yeti mic. It's probably regarded as one of the best USB desktop mics that we have.
Nice. Very sensitive to sound too.
Yeah.
We've noticed that. Yeah, any hit on the table will just pick up noises.
You
Sorry.
just gotta do that. And then people on the stream are like, "Oh my god." The other one that I have, I actually haven't opened this one yet. This is the Audio Technica. Let's full screen this one. This is the Audio Technica ATR 2500 USB mic. It's pretty similar to the Yeti, but it's a little bit lower quality and a little bit cheaper, I think.
There.
Right, Joe's moving it.
There.
Over.
Now you
So
don't
you can't
see it.
Drop the bass. Boom, 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 boom.
And a shout out to I didn't see your name, but I saw that it's 1 a.m. and you're still tuning in. Can you scroll up? Who was that?
I don't know who was that?
Ashy Gamer. Thanks very much
Ashy
for
Gamer,
tuning in.
1
If I
a.m.
did
Nice.
have some kind of cookie to give you, you can bet that I would definitely do it. But all you can get is a shout out from me and my little fingers in the shape of a heart. Boom. Continuing on now, John. Any last comments about mic audio?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys have any questions about mics, you guys could ask.
Perfecto. I love it.
So next we'll be going on to the next most important thing, which is the camera. So a camera is really important in showcasing to your viewers what you look like, at least, or what you're doing. It kind of feels pretty robotic, when you can't see the person who's if you're watching a stream, you can't see the person who's streaming because it's
Right.
like, what kind of show is this? I can't see him. I don't even know what he's doing. Like, is this a real person? Is this a recorded thing? Right.
Sure.
It adds a little bit of personality, to your stream. So I really recommend doing it.
I like the cameo from the wheel back there too. It's a good little nod
wheel
for you
back.
guys who have been with us for a while. That was our means of
It's
giving out
still here.
prizes.
It's
So
right there,
it's literally right there in the corner. So.
So you can go really budget to higher quality or whatever. Here, let me bust out the goodie bag.
Ooh,
There you go.
we've
So,
got a goodie bag here.
Right. So let's talk about low budget first. Oh wait, maybe not here. It's in the. Yeah, here we go.
Why do I just think of low budget? Just like a guy and like powering his like computer and shit like that, just with like a bicycle. Just hey guys.
Let's full screen this one.
Boom. What do we got
There's a
here?
couple different options that you can use to do cameras for your stream, right?
Okay.
The cheapest way to do it is a webcam, because webcams are super simple. You just plug it in and then pop it open in your broadcasting software. This is the Logitech 2700, I believe. This is probably, if you buy it new, it's worth maybe $20. I bought this for $8 used. So $8. Yeah.
Nice.
Oops.
Oh.
It hit me. Don't talk.
When cameras attack.
So yeah, it's really cheap. It's really budget. It's high quality. I think the quality goes up to 720p, I believe.
Nice.
So there's that one. I even have this really old one, if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is.
These are the budget cameras, though, right?
Yeah, these are all budget webcams. This is the Microsoft HD 500. It's even it's a little bit better, I think. I think this also goes up to 720p, but
That looks pretty cool. Yeah.
it has this
Interchangeable.
moldable thing in the back.
Nice.
You're supposed to put it on the behind of or on the top of your monitor. And then probably the best webcam that you can get for streaming is this one, which is the Logitech C910,
You made that number up, didn't you?
No, it's true. It can. I think that this is either the C910 or the C920. I forgot. But this goes up to 1080p, and it also has its own mics here on the side.
Nice.
And you can even mount it to a tripod. So I can show you.
So, yeah, go ahead and show that off.
Go ahead.
When it comes down to a camera having a microphone or an audio source, how does that affect if you have like an actual microphone? What would you suggest? Would you suggest obviously using if you have a microphone using that, but if you have some sort of look at that thing. It looks like a old school GPS.
It's actually a suction mount.
Nice. But I mean, like, how do you navigate around that kind of like circumstance where it's like the mic or the camera has a microphone and you have a microphone? Do you use both sources or do you just limit it to just your microphone?
Just pick the one that's best.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, most webcams nowadays have built-in microphones. But if you do have your own other microphone, just mute the one that's in the camera, because usually the one that's in the camera is not really good. Especially if you're going to be putting it on the top of your monitor, it's going to be kind of far from you. So if you have another mic that's like over here somewhere, of course it's going to be a lot better. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this one is about like $50 to $80, I think.
And then yeah, Miradon, feel free to private message us your streaming link. Like I said, or like John was saying, we are interested in just checking out other streamers and maybe even doing some like advertisements or just shout outs to you and working with you guys in the future. So definitely DM us your profile.
And then let's actually those are all webcams, but another way to get video is through an actual real camera, right? And then so what we use in our office is the Canon XA10. So there's let me switch over, sorry. There's a picture of it, the Canon XA10, and the way that these cameras are used.
That way. That way. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is that? What is that?
I'm pointing to the camera.
The camera.
Well, that's actually your head, but whoa, isn't that the camera right there? Go ahead, continue.
The camera's right here.
Yeah, that's what I was pointing to.
This is the camera.
I wasn't.
And then this is the other, whatever. Anyways. The way that these real cameras get the video is through HDMI. And HDMI is a video out source, and then we plug it into our computer, and you'll need another thing in order to get the video from these cameras, which is the capture card, which is probably the next thing that I'm going to be talking about, I hope. Yes!
Does Kodak still exist? I'm sure it does. It's got to.
Kodak?
Yeah.
It has to. They have like a lot of film cameras or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's a little bit extraneous depending on how far you want to take your streaming level to.
Okay.
But we use, so as I said, we use HDMI to get the video out of our camera, and then we use a video capture card to interpret the video into the PC. So originally PCs can't interpret video, right? They don't have a video in, they're mostly like video outs, right?
Okay.
So then what a video capture card does, it makes it so that it can accept video input, and then so that you guys can see it here on the stream and stuff like that.
I believe that's a VHS DVD combo.
Yeah, that's
okay.
The picture on the top
Spare
is a
no
VHS
expense,
DVD
okay.
combo, so you can kind of think of it like that, right? You can you plug in your VHS into the TV, and then you could put tapes in and stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that. But it is a more modern version, right?
I don't even want to address what's a VHS because that I just
You don't know what a VHS
I just
is?
feel old now. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
Combo. So there's a lot of different options that you can get. You can get cheaper ones. We here in the office we use the one that's pictured on the bottom left, your left, which is an internal capture card. So you plug it into your computer's motherboard or whatever, something like that.
Okay.
There are also internal ones. Here, I'll show you what one looks like. Or not internal ones, external ones. So the brand that we use is AverMedia. This is also another AverMedia capture card. It looks like this. So it's very small, the size of like my hand, kind of.
Palm.
Or my palm.
Gotcha.
You plug it in through here. There's some HDMI ports right there, and then use USB to plug it into your computer. It's pretty small. It's pretty cool. It's like a big phone or something. Hello. Yeah. Something like that.
I'm just really captivated by this xylophone solo right now.
It's not a xylophone. It's
Or a steel drum.
yeah, steel drum. So that's one. That is the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable. There's also a brand called Elgato that has external
what's my
ones.
jam?
Yeah.
Elgato.
Elgato, which is
Elgato.
Spanish for
The
the
cat.
gato. And then there's a more higher level one, which is the Hopage HD PVR. It looks like a really big. It's basically like a really bigger version.
Just a big box.
Maybe this big. Yeah, it's like a VCR DVD combo.
Okay, all right.
So there you go.
So what
What was the question that you had earlier about capture cards? Let's talk about that.
That was honestly quite a ways back, so
You forgot.
I'm not too
You
sure.
forgot.
But I was gonna ask you in the sense of maybe tell them how we kind of do, because I know we have we kind of talked about
right.
AirPlay.
Right. So
shed some light on that.
one way that if we're specifically talking about mobile streaming, there's a way that you can do what's it called? Video mirroring or device mirroring, right? So that's either through Wi-Fi. I mean, I have my phone. I guess we could show it. I could. Let me give you guys a little demo, right? So let's pop this one out, and then yeah, you guys can see my desktop. I see my cool background by Blue Malo.
There you go.
Yeah, Blue Malo made that. Shout outs to Blue Malo. Very dedicated Dragon Blaze fan. Was it Mobizen? There you go, Mobizen. Do I have it here? I really hope I still have it.
I hope
do.
so too.
I do have it.
Okay.
Alright, so let me show you guys. So right now, I have Mobizen running on my phone.
Yeah,
and then,
no one can
this
see
thing's
that.
gonna update.
No one can
no
see
one can
that.
see that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever.
That is Darkborn, yes.
What is all this? Updates and stuff? Yeah, whatever. Don't display again. Mobizen, don't ever display that. Alright, let's plug it in. Oh, I gotta do my password and stuff.
Uh-oh.
Alright, give me a sec. Let me log this.
Uh-oh.
Is that my password? Let's hope that that's my password.
That was easy.
Alright, it's logging in. It's logging in, I think. It's connecting.
It's certainly thinking about it, John.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. I hope it's working. There we go. Ooh.
Pretty much, Miradon.
There we go.
Yeah, so essentially that you can use this app to essentially mirror your screen. And that's kind of somewhat what we do here is essentially we wirelessly connect our tablet to our computer so that it streams what we're seeing and stuff like that. So
Yeah. There we go. I have a couple games on here. Pokemon Go and Line and Dragon Blaze and stuff like that. Line, all these things. So anyways, that's how you do it. Through your phone. Pretty cool, right? That's how you in a way that's how we do it here on our here at the office. Right? That was cool, right?
But
that cool?
the way that we do it, because we use iOS, so we do something called AirPlay, which essentially it's probably the easiest way to do it because AirPlay is already built into most iOS devices. So essentially you just have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi connection, enable it, and then you have basically that source right there. So it's a lot easier to we've found that it's a lot easier to stream from a
From
iOS
iOS,
device
right.
because
So-
Android doesn't have that feature.
If you're on Android, the app that I just used is called Mobizen. And if you're on iOS, the app that we use is AirPlay.
It's not really an app; it's already built into your phone.
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
kinda
yeah.
built
So like you really don't have to download any external.
You do
apps, right?
have to do it for your computer.
Of course, yeah,
Computer
yeah.
has to have one. Can we have landscape mode? Nah.
That doesn't that usually doesn't it usually adjust to what the game is though?
Right. So if you do it this way or this way, the mirroring app is going to adjust for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's something you have to take into account if you are streaming, especially like what we do here. Sometimes we'll stream Dungeon Link. Sometimes you when you stream Dungeon Link, that's in that what's called horizontal mode, or vertical mode. Yeah, sorry, I always get them confused.
Yeah.
If we do like say like a Dragon Blade show next time, which is in the horizontal mode,
right?
You basically have to make sure that your screen is actually fitting inside of your presentation or whatever, right? So yeah, that's something you just have to. That's a good point, and keep that in mind then. So.
Is this PowerPoint a new game from Gameville? That's funny.
Yeah, man, you basically create PowerPoints.
Yeah.
It's the replica of PowerPoint creation.
What's a good app to record my screen without rooting my phone? Again, I said if it's iOS, use AirPlay. If it's Android, use Mobizen. Hey, I'll give you a cool tip. If you want to remember which one is horizontal or vertical, just think like if you're on the top of a building, you'll get vertigo, right?
Right.
But if you want to see the
horizon,
if you want to see the sunset, you look at the horizon.
Gotcha.
Right, there you go. All right, so additional stuff is like it really depends on to what level you want to make your stream, right? Do you want to make it like really crazy? You want to go all out and get a green screen. Let's show the green screen. Boom, the green screen right here. Ooh. What's behind the green screen? I'm sure everyone always wanted to know what's behind the green screen. Another green screen. Ooh, you guys didn't expect that, huh? You guys didn't expect that. Right.
Oh man, I just like picture it's like it is our old intern Daniel just back there. Help me, I'm still here.
Other things that you could do. We also have a mixer. This is also really important if you are planning on getting a lot of audio sources. So a mixer is really cool. Let me show you the one that I use, actually.
Yeah, Vashon, we was trying to shine some light into how we kind of do our streams and stuff like that. We've been getting a lot of questions about it, so just wanted to take some time and essentially do a stream on how to stream or how we're streaming, stuff like that. So,
boom. This is the one that I actually use at home. This is a Pile Pad 20 MXU. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So
looks pretty nice.
They're cool mixers. That you can use. So, yeah, one's a baby one and one's like the mommy one. Whatever.
Daddy left town, so.
Some lights. Oh, Joe, can you get some lights so we can show it? This is the one right there in that bucket.
Yeah.
So here's an example of one of the lights that we use. This is LS Digital LE160 or whatever. So, I mean, it's just a light. Nothing crazy about it, right? You can send signals,
Do you want to maybe stop flashing the audience? That'd be great.
So this is good for having really nice lighting for your subject, or whatever. It also helps to fix the chroma key in the back. So I don't know if you could see this. Let me kind of boost this up a little bit. So right here in our image, we have we have kind of like, I don't know if you noticed, but we have this kind of like spotty thing that happens. That's because our green screen is draping like this. So the chroma key kind of gets a little messed up. If you use the lighting, it'll fix it. So here, I'll give you an example. All right, I guess it doesn't fix it very well.
Yeah, that's not. Well, it's not on, by the way.
Oh, I turned it on.
Yeah, way to go.
The other way. There you go.
There you go.
There. So boom, it fixes it. Removes that stuff. There you
go. Yeah. So cool. Way to go. Now, like, what about because something that you really don't take into account a lot, right? And it was something I didn't really take into account too is the amount of heat that those also produce. If you're, how do I put this? If you are a sweater.
It makes it hot.
It makes it, it does it does kind of like take that up a notch, I've noticed. So really try to, I don't know really what the best way to plan for that is, but
maybe add some air conditioning.
Maybe, but yeah, just keep in mind that when those are on, and especially when you're going to, for some of these shows, you're going to, hour 2, not only is all the equipment in here running, but you also have the added heat of the lights, stuff like that. So it does kind of it does make it quite hot. So
Monk Party, yeah, you missed the part about the lights, but it's okay. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Can't you put a tolerance on the key color? Yes. So that's another thing that you can do.
Nice.
A lot of depending on what kind of program you're using for your green screening, you can adjust like the levels and whatnot, things like that. Makes it hot, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of
Craftsman.
greens.
I wasn't meaning like if you're like an actual sweater, like
If you're a sweater, like
just a sweater in the
yeah,
chair,
made
just-
from wool or something. So yeah. Oh, and the last thing that you'll need is a ton of wires. A ton of wires.
a ton of just
You'll need
random wires, guys.
Tons of
Just
wires.
Random wires.
You guys don't understand how many wires I have.
Is it a ton?
And cables. Not necessarily wires, but cables. and
Oh
stuff.
God, that just
There's a lot.
Don't overwhelm the people.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need all these things. But
Some guys like, I just wanted to do like a regular stream on my computer. Why are there so many cables?
it just turns out that I have a lot of cables.
Yeah,
but
we
you don't
put a
necessarily
we put a
need
lot of production behind these streams though, guys. So don't like think that like
Yeah.
we're expecting or that you're expected to have
Right.
all this stuff set up. It's basically like when you have
Depends on how far you want to go with your
Yeah,
streaming,
yeah.
right? So we
Torture
use like a
shit.
ton of HDMI cables and things like that.
you don't need a prize wheel, no, but it does make for entertaining portions of the show. So
Right. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, sorry to point this out, but none of those wires are connected.
He's got a good
What is
point.
this sorcery?
it just shuts off the stream. Oh,
They're just backup cables. You know, you never know.
yeah.
You never
You
know.
can never
That's
have
why
too
you
many.
always have some backups. Okay. Now that we're done with the hard stuff, let's
Oh, that was the hard stuff.
Let's get into the soft stuff, right? So the soft stuff. Soft stuff is your software, right? What you'll need, what kind of programs you'll need in order to get your stream online after you have all this equipment set up, right? So the number one program, and the program that we use, the one that most people use, is called XSplit Broadcaster.
Okay.
So XSplit Broadcaster is a really nice and simple program that all you need to do is just like put some images and videos and stuff together, and then you'll have your broadcast. Push it to live to your channel and things like that. So after the break in the next hour, I'll explain to you more about how to use XSplit, right?
Maybe give some examples.
Right.
Okay.
The second biggest program that people use is called OBS. So OBS is the one that's on the right. It's the white one. So this one is also quite simple. Well, compared to XSplit, it's a little bit more complicated, but the benefit of having OBS is that OBS is for free, and XSplit charges a subscription license.
So a good question here. Moonji Party wants to know the benefits over XSplit and open broadcast software.
So yeah, I get that question a lot. Why would you use XSplit over OBS or OBS over XSplit? Things like that. So they both have their positives and positives and negatives, but it kind of comes down to like, which one would you rather use? Would you rather use PC or Mac? Are you are you an Android or iPhone user? Something like that.
Are you a businessman or are you Justin Long?
Yeah, right.
You know,
Do you like
does anybody get that reference?
spaghetti or sandwiches?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's a very abstract reference. I don't like that one.
It really comes down to your kind of preference. There are some things that XSplit does better. I feel that XSplit has more things that OBS does, but OBS also has a few things that they do better than XSplit. The biggest difference is that one is paid and one is not paid. So most of the time, people will go for the free one, right?
Well, because it's free, right?
Because it's free. Why not?
Yeah.
Right. In terms of quality, you can potentially obtain the same level of quality using both programs, right? You can get the exact same level, the same frame rate, the same resolution, whatever. Like there isn't a difference really in the processing that goes behind it, right?
Okay.
OBS is a little bit lighter on your computer's processing unit, though. To keep that in mind, XSplit does use a bit more resources. but
you're not selling XSplit.
the reason why I prefer XSplit, the reason why I think the industry prefers XSplit over OBS is that it has so many widgets and so many built-in things that is there for you, and like everything that you do is you just pop it in and resize or whatever. It's all there.
Right.
Whereas whereas OBS, you have to work a little bit harder in order to get. You have to go through a little bit more menus. You have to do a little bit more, everything.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, whoever the developers of OBS, shouts to them. But this is a free program that they only do for donations. So
Gotcha.
It's not necessarily them working on it all the time trying to make it better. Whereas XSplit, it's a premium software. So that's their company. They're making it so that it's gonna be the best or whatever. So there you go. That's pretty much the difference. There are also other alternatives that you can use. I mentioned a new one that came out last year. It's called Game Show. There's also vMix, which is an old one, and Adobe Flash Media Encoder, which is also for free, but also really difficult to use. So
yeah, the thing I like about, and I don't know, I haven't had too much experience with OBS, and but I mean, I really like the customization that you can put into XSplit. Just like kind of going over all the scenes, what you can do. Like, I mean, up until like a week ago, I really didn't know the whole process that it goes into. You watch these streams of like other people or just other companies that put these kind of like overlay graphics and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm sure OBS has some way of doing that too.
Yeah,
but,
it has it too.
I don't know, just the complexity and the amount of
features and stuff.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
XSplit has is kind of like over, like, how can you do that? Yeah. Oh wow, you can do that. Like, there's a lot of these things that kind of took me off guard that I didn't know. Obviously it's there on certain streams and you see stuff, but it's like the seeing the process behind it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's really cool to see that. So
right, I've been to many gaming events, and I do see that a lot of larger companies use XSplit. Mainly because like it has that it provides them the things that they want to do. Like if they want to put it onto a projector or something like that, XSplit has that. Even though OBS does have a projector projector feature, it doesn't work necessarily in the same way, so it's not really as great.
I got you. Okay.
And also there's another thing that I was gonna say, but I completely forgot.
It's good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot what I was going to say. Something about one of the features. I forgot. Anyways, XSplit, I really recommend it. Try it out. They do have a free version that has like a watermark thing, though, which is kind of lame.
Yeah. We don't like no watermarks here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember. The thing is like... XSplit is always looking to improve and put more stuff into their things because you're paying for it.
Right.
So for OBS, it's gonna take a lot longer for those features to come back. Stuff like that. Yeah. Oh man. Anyways, and then we'll go over the creating a scene in the next hour.
Cool. Okay.
So the other things that you can look into are audio programs, video processing programs, and making titles and animations and stuff like that. So what I mean by like audio programs is like maybe you want to have music, maybe you want to have some other kind of sound bites or whatever. There's a lot of programs that you could do. Maybe you need audio routing or mixing and things like that. There's a lot of programs like that.
Okay.
Video processing. Or video programs, maybe you want to have some kind of montage that you want to make or things like that. There's a lot of...
Everyone loves a montage.
Yeah.
Things move by much quicker when they're in a montage.
So there's a ton of programs that you can look into, video capturing, things like that. Like if I wanted to, I can put... Here, I'll show you really quick. If I wanted to add the chat, I could do like a screen capture right here.
Whoa.
So this is happening in real time.
This is just a random...
Boom. Oh, there we go. So like, dude, that's live chat right there. So you guys could look into that. Say hi.
Even Rocky had a montage.
So is that gonna go down or what?
Thank you for getting that reference, Big Bell, and I appreciate that.
montage, and then let's Kappa right there. There we go. I'm in there. See, hi chat. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff that you can do.
Boom, out of here.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. The creativity is only limited by the extension of your fingertips. Does that make sense?
No, what'd you say?
Moving on.
Ooh, so here's some behind the set footage here.
So, okay. What's going on in the rest of this? Assets. I forgot. Wait, what time is it? Okay, how about let's I'm gonna go on to creating a scene and creating your set and stuff like that in the next hour. So how about take a break for 5 minutes until 1. Is 5 minutes too long?
It might be. Let's take just like a 2-minute break.
2-minute break. Let's take a 2-minute break, come back, and then I'll explain to you whatever's going on next with
oh my god.
What did they say?
Big bellin'. Wow. So while we are on break, guys, we will obviously points will be tracking. Before we do go, I did see somebody, and I just remembered now, so I hope that they're still in chat. But it was around the first 15 minutes of the stream. Is that Jesus? In the sense of the whole point system, I know we probably have some new viewers, but essentially what this is for every minute you guys are watching, you're accumulating what we call Gameville points.
Yes.
Gameville points can be used then in turn on our Revlo shop. We have several titles with a couple of items that you can purchase with those points. So yeah, just continue watching. Every now and then we do battle bets that you can wager those points, and we can kind of give you opportunities to increase those to claim more rewards while you watch her. So kind of just our way to reward you guys for just watching and tuning in, for those loyal fans of ours and whatnot. So
yeah, for those of you guys who are like loyal viewers, are regulars, and someone comes into the chat, remember you can always put exclamation info if they're curious about the points and stuff.
Yes.
And you can always check how many points you have, not only by using the command exclamation points, but you can go to revlo.co/Gameville_USA.
Did you get all that?
There you go.
Because we aren't going to repeat it. And a little food for thought, and I'll also mention at the end of the stream too, is that we're wanting to kind of get some ideas from you guys in the sense of what you may want to see on potential future streams. Like I kind of said at the beginning of the show, or in the middle of the show, constantly coming up with creative ways to engage you guys and kind of have new stuff. It's just something we kind of want to pick your brains, right? Because I can come up with a couple ideas and whatnot, but it's all a matter of also to what you guys may want to potentially see in the future. Because I know we've done, we have update shows. We do these random, kind of informative shows about stuff that's coming out in the future. We've also done some play-alongs, open lobbies, and raids in Dragon Blaze and stuff like that. So definitely, I want you guys to, and I'm not throwing it at you guys to just come up with all the ideas, but what have you guys considered? What are some things that you potentially would like to see us do? And it's just kind of an open question. You guys can just private message us if you want, or or feel free to do it in chat. But it's just we're kind of looking for new ways to continue to expand and build our channel and whatnot. So
Brazinger, only Gameville games.
Yes. So
Gameville games or talk show. Gameville games or no games.
Yeah.
Are your options.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back after about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Reconvene. Try to process all this information about oh man, building a stream is so cool. I want to make one.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the meantime, your points are still being tracked, so don't worry. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2.
We're back.
It was a little past 2 minutes, so apologies for that. But you know,
Who's keeping count? Right.
Some people were.
Some people are.
Yeah. You know, when you say something, John, you know, you gotta fall through, right, guys?
Fall through.
Fall
This
through.
presentation. Boom. Let's get back to it. Right.
All right, John. Let's talk. You know what I'm curious about are scenes. How do
Right.
give me a little crash course on how do we set up scenes and stuff?
All right. So as you can see, this is a picture. This is actually of what we do here, or what our setup is here at the Gameville Incorporated studio. You know,
There you go. Yeah, nice.
Whatever we call it. Oh, maybe this music is too loud. Let me turn down the music. Sorry. This music is cool, right? Do you guys like this music? Sick
Everyone's like,
music.
nope.
They love the music, right? So basically, we had that really huge mic, and then we have the camera set up. The monitor underneath it is actually what we use to look at the chat, or our hosts use to look at the chat, and everyone's set up with the green screen and things like that. Things you need to be conscious about is, one, the camera focus, right? You want to make sure your camera is in focus so you can see us. You don't want to make us look all blurry and stuff like that. The lighting is also important. Make sure the light comes in correctly, the right angle, and none of that's really important. As long as your viewers could see you, that's important lighting, right?
Hair and makeup also
Hair and
a big thing for scenes and setups.
Yeah, just light up your whole studio. Make sure they can see you, right? And I mentioned before, the lighting is important for the green screen, chroma key, blah blah blah, all these things. You guys can see that the Harry Potter cloak going on in the back.
Is that the invisibility cloak? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Nice. Sick references,
So-
dog. Sick.
So those are all things that you'll need to set up. You'll need to figure out.
Yeah, you say that
Maybe a
now,
better
and then it's
approach.
like it's like an hour into the show. You're just like, my eyes are killing me.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, my eyes are killing me too. All right, construction. Look at that guy.
Oh wow.
Look at that beast, dude. Boom.
Okay, so the set thing is pretty common sense, self-explanatory, right? The other thing that's a little bit more difficult is actually creating a set, or creating a scene. So things that we use here at the office are stream assets, which refer to the pictures and text and graphics and video and stuff like that that go on to creating like the standby screen, for example. Or even here, we have our logo right here in the corner. You guys can see that, right? So all those things. We have the camera set up in the bottom right corner today. Usually we have it on the bottom left. Today it's on the bottom right. So those are all things that you can think about. Usually, when streamers have game streamers, they want to stream their own game. They'll put the game behind them, and then they'll be in front of the camera. Sometimes they'll have the chat also in there. Those are all things that you can think about. However you want to do it.
Yeah, I think for the big reason why I think we put our stuff in the left is because a lot of our games that we have utilize a lot of the lower right-hand corner for like Critica's got the abilities.
True.
I know. Even though Dragon Blades has the abilities in the middle, it's got the scrolls on the side. So it's like all
Some
these
information you don't want to block. Right?
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to you want to properly position your camera so it's not really interfering too much with the background.
It's critical about the HUD of whatever game that you're doing.
Yes.
I know sometimes, for example, for people who play shooting games or Call of Duty or something, they'll have the map, which is usually located on the top left, and then on the bottom right is the information about how much ammunition they have.
Right.
So if your camera is in either of those spots, you're blocking that information. You don't want that, right?
Yeah.
So things like that. Also, if you want to put text and banners, links. Hey, thank you guys followers for, or thank you viewers for 100 follows or donations or whatever. Things like that.
Big Bella wants to know, why do people then sometimes put chat within their stream when it's right next to the stream?
Okay, I have an idea of why. The reason why people put the chat in their stream is because when people are rewatching the archive, or if it's uploaded to YouTube, part of the experience of a stream is the chat too. So if you want to rewatch it, you want to see like the reaction of the chat. What are people saying?
Good point.
Yeah. There's a feature that came out, I want to say this year, which has chat replay now. So
on
people
Twitch,
don't
right?
have to. Like when you watch the archive on Twitch, you'll be able to still see the chat, but of course, if you upload it to YouTube, you won't be able to see that.
Yeah, I know something else you did kind of bring up that when I was asking about streaming and stuff like that is that there's also too, for anybody that might not have like a spare monitor or something like that, because typically when you stream, you have a spare monitor and then your main screen that you're streaming on, and then you can read chat. So I mean, sometimes you might not have access to another monitor, so you can basically build in a real chat within what you're seeing too, so it's not as like
so you can see your chat, right?
Yeah.
Those are all things that you can all workarounds and stuff like that.
Right.
And then the last thing that we kind of use is transition. So this was a new thing that I implemented this year. So here, I'll give you an example of doing one. Let me see if I do this. One that I like to use is this one. Actually, we just use it. Boom, that one. That one's kind of cool, right?
Okay.
And another one that we had was, let's see. So we actually, for all of these things, we had our designer Lawrence make these kind of transition videos. So this one's kind of cool. Gameville. You guys like that?
I think I like the voice behind that. That was actually really good, man.
So there you go. I mean, those are all extra stuff that's probably things that you could think about doing for your stream.
Yeah, and what's really cool within that I've kind of noticed, right, is that and it kind of goes hand in hand with stick with me here because it's kind of like an abstract reference of cosplayers, because cosplayers, excuse me, have a really cool community where people can bounce ideas off each other. People can like teach each other stuff, and the same within the Twitch community where if somebody is, and it's really all about kind of like building relationships in the Twitch community. Kind of maybe somebody might be doing something better. Maybe somebody might have a really cool, cutaways like that.
Right.
Maybe somebody's got a really cool overlay. There's a lot of like interactable kind of things that within the
extra stuff you can do. Because actually, the whole green screen thing was like when Twitch first started, the green screen thing was not a thing in the beginning. Someone's idea is like, oh, let's try to do the green screen thing, and later was implemented into broadcasting softwares like XSplit. The beginning versions of XSplit didn't have this green screen thing because they didn't expect people to actually use it. So now that kind of became a thing, other broadcasters are like, oh wow, this guy has a green screen. Maybe I should have a green screen. So the green screen sales went through the roof, I guess. I don't know.
Couldn't you just alternatively just get like a big green piece of construction paper and...
Yeah, whatever. There's even a program that...
Construction paper sales went through the roof.
Anyways, we'll get to... I see a lot of people in the chat talking about, how the broadcaster deals with lag and stuff like that. So we'll get to that in a couple slides, okay?
Yeah.
So hang tight about the lag.
Ooh, we've covered all angles, John. I like it. I'm loving it.
I think this is the moment where I want to show you guys how to make a scene. We'll talk about the rest of this before we do that, okay? So now, you've thought about your master plan. How do I want my stream to work? Who do I want to be on the stream? Make sure I don't have any audio issues, right? All that stuff. Now you're ready to go live. You're ready to push the button. You're ready to let the world see your beautiful face and whatever game you're streaming and things like that. Going live. So the important thing when going live is bandwidth. Bandwidth is the most important thing. So you need to check how much internet you have. There's ways that you can control, like, basically the more bits that you send out, the better your stream looks, right? But you have to think of it like bandwidth is like a straw, right? So you're trying to send out bits through this straw. If you're sending out too many bits, it's not going to go through because the straw is too small. And the bandwidth is kind of like your internet capabilities, right? So there's a couple things called variable bit rate and controlled bit rate or constant bit rate. You know, blah blah blah. Anyways, ideally you want to have more bandwidth to make your stream look nicer, but you can't have too much because it's not gonna go through your internet.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Other things you can think about are frame rate and drop frames. Those also have to do with how strong your internet connection is. You know, sometimes your stream will start slowing down, or your viewers will be like, oh, you know, your video looks choppy. Yeah, it looks laggy or something like that, right? So those have to do with internet issues. And those are ways I could show you using XSplit how you can kind of mitigate those.
Sure. What's up, Kurt Dog? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Just talking a little bit about streaming mobile games.
Mike muted spam everywhere.
Yeah. Once again, guys, the audio issues are probably some of the most common things. Like, you don't realize, like, everything that kind of goes into streaming and whatnot. I would probably rank mic or audio issues kind of up there. You know what I mean? So
audio issues happen all the time.
It's a lot of just like process of elimination when it comes to it. Like if I check A and B, then it's got to be C. If C isn't it, go back to A and B. What did I miss there? It's a lot of just troubleshooting and figuring it out on the fly, though. You know.
Also, video issues happen sometimes. They're less likely, but choppy video or like videos not coming through.
Right.
Stuff like that. So. There you go. So that's all of that going live. Good luck. Casting tips.
Oh,
this one's kind of cool. I like this one.
You made it. Oh man.
Let's talk about this stuff later. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's save it for the end of the stream.
You don't want to talk about our crazy journeys through the intergalactic space, or no? You good? All right. All right.
Nah. We'll come back to it. Okay. That would be a good point to end on.
Okay. All right. So what do we want to do here now, dude? What are we looking at?
What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna teach you guys how to create a scene using assets, video sources, and things like that.
Now this is for XSplit specifically, though.
Specifically XSplit.
Okay. All right.
I don't have time to go over what's it called? OBS. Is this mouse not working?
Uh-oh.
Was it working earlier?
And then sometimes you fall into just
random hardware devices not working. Okay, now I guess that one's not working. Let's just use the touchpad. Okay. So this is my background, as I said. Shout out to Blue Mallow for making this. We're gonna launch XSplit. So boom. There it is. It didn't work the first boom. Second boom always works. Second boom
you got that
is
boom,
the charm.
boom.
Yeah. So here we go.
By the way, Kurt Dog, yes. What was it? Mubazab or whatever is
Mobazan.
Is that the same app that they're referring to? I've never heard of this.
What did they say?
Moobzap. Isn't that's the other?
Try Mobzap. Oh, Mobzap. I don't know what Mobzap is.
You never heard of Mobzap? Unless you were
unless you're misspelling Mobazan.
Yeah, because Mobazan is the other app that you can use to stream, and that's more so used for Android wirelessly, a wireless connection for that. So maybe we could show that off towards the end for you, Kurt. So yeah, just hang tough then.
All right, see you later, Freestylo.
Later, Freestylo. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it.
What was it? Okay, anyway, so this is XSplit broadcast. This is what we use. There's a ton of sources. We don't need all these, whatever.
Yeah, delete that.
So let me show you. Here in the bottom right are your scene buttons. So this is how you can switch between, one scene and the second scene. There's already some sources in here. Let's delete those.
We don't need that.
And in the bottom left is your source pane. So this is where you can add video, images, music, whatever. Anything to your heart's content. Sandwiches. I wish. I'm getting hungry.
Way to go, John. Way to go, man.
So here's a folder of just some stuff that we use for XSplit. I hope there's nothing crazy. Just most likely not. I'm pretty sure. So... XSplit is really easy. One of the benefits of XSplit over OBS is that you can easily add sources, super easily. Add sources, crazy. So this is a image of the Chromatic Souls background that we use. So there you go, boom, Chromatic Souls. Let's put that in there, right? What else do you guys want to do? All right, so I mean, this is pretty simple. Just drag stuff in here, and then I'll make one scene, and then we'll have Joe do another scene. How about that? Let's add some fan art. All right, boom, right there. So we have what is this, like a crossover between Chromatic Souls and Farah. Right. Farah, we want to feature her in there for some reason. Here, I'll teach you guys a trick. So once we're adding this in, the ugly thing is that she's kind of blocking out everyone in the back with this white background, which doesn't really, no one likes the white background. So let's make it go away. So what you can do is go right click that source, go into color, and press color key, right? So what the color key does is it'll remove one color, but oh man, her dress is also white, so this might not work very well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the eyedrop tool and then click on the white. That's the one that we don't want. Boom, so it removes the white.
Oh, that's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah.
There you go. So there, she's not really blending in with these guys, but I mean, it's better than before.
Yeah, you get the point though.
Yeah, you guys get the point, right?
Yeah. It does kind of turn her like silhouette though, that she's standing behind, in front of, kind of a cool little circular pattern though.
What else do you guys want to do? Let's so in the bottom left there's a button called add, and you can add different sources. So if you want to add things that are not pictures or anything like that, those are a little bit harder because you can't just drag and drop pictures, or you can't drag and drop like audio or video or things like that, right? So let's add a mic. So we can go here, audio devices, and then we'll add, how about this one, microphone, whatever. So you can put that one in. So now if you had a mic, XSplit will be picking up that mic.
Yeah, and this is as just a food for thought. This is kind of the one of those things you also have to troubleshoot if there are audio issues, right? Sometimes you might not have an actual mic for the source. You might have everything else set up, and you. It's just one of those things. Like I said, kind of checking your list and kind of going through, checking your list, checking it twice, right? Making a list, checking it twice, and kind of just making sure that everything is there. Because if you don't have that audio source in there, then you're you run into potential sound issues like we sometimes do.
Yeah,
it's a very rare occasion, though, guys. All right, very rare.
One tip that I want to give you guys. So I'm gonna put in the logo. This is our logo, but our logo is kind of weird, right? For some reason there's a lot of empty space here. So what you can do with XSplit, which is pretty cool, you can like resize this thing. But let's say I want to get rid of all this empty space. Yeah. Also, let's get rid of some of the white stuff too. You can crop out by holding Alt, going to the edge of the screen, pressing Alt, and you can just remove that stuff. You can even remove parts of the image too,
if you want it. Okay, nice.
So you can do that. There you go. And let's get rid of that white stuff too. So as I said before, color key, eyedrop tool, and we'll remove the white. There you go. Now we got the logo in there. Nice, right? Where do you guys want to put it? Put it over the Chromatic Souls. No, just kidding. Let's not do that.
Put it right on the chest of the warrior, dude.
Boom. Chest of the warrior. Boom. It's like a tattoo.
Boom.
There you go. Like a Tupac or something.
Wow, that's literally the first thing you went to as far as tattoo goes.
Let's put the Twitch logo in there too. How about that? Shout out to Twitch. Color key. Take out the white eyedrop tool. Can't forget that.
So again, where do you select then? If you go to the eyedrop tool, what color do you select to get rid of?
Whichever one you don't want.
Well, so you click on color key, and then where do you go again to say like, oh, you basically just select whatever color it is.
Right. So click eyedrop tool, and then we can click the color. So for example, if we want to remove white,
you just click on that white of that image.
If you wanted to remove the pink, or not pink, the purple, you can also remove the purple right there. But that looks kind of weird, right? It was better the way it was before.
Yeah.
So let's remove that one. There you go.
So can you only do one color key per image then?
Yes, one
Okay.
color key per image.
Okay.
All right, one more. Let's add one more thing. Let's add a video, right? So before we added the audio, you can add video in the same way.
Sweet.
Right? So go to add. There's a screen capture, game capture, blah, blah, blah. Webcam, and then we're going to add Logitech HD Webcam Pro, which is this one right here. So,
Ooh.
boom. There it is.
Whoa.
There it is. So there you go.
We're streaming a stream.
So this is what our like that's what our camera looks like. We're streaming our camera. And then we got us there.
Hello. And then there's our office out
It's
there.
a little laggy. All right. Here's one of the things that I'll teach you. This video kind of looks laggy, so there are some options that you could do. When you right click the source, you can go to cam, and then you can use, where is it? Oops, what was that? I accidentally clicked the link. Sorry. Go here, right click, and then configure manually. Oh, high CPU usage. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. So right here, when you press configure manually, you can configure and then do video output. You can then change how large the video you want and what kind of frame rate you want. So let's make it smaller because I think our computer's going crazy, right? So there you go. Oh, the frame rate is still quite low. That could be because this laptop is pretty weak in terms of processing and stuff like that. Yeah. So there you go. Boom.
All right, shut the video down so that it's not. Oh wait, it's kind of clearing
It's okay.
out a little
It's
bit.
okay.
Ooh.
It's just the CPU is going crazy, I guess. Which is a reason why I implore you guys to get a PC with higher CPU, with better, stuff.
Nice. Okay.
But I mean that all goes down to how big your wallet is, right? All right, so now we got all that stuff. I just did it really quick. Let's have Joe kind of freestyle his own scene. So, Joe, whatever you want to do. Let's put this over here. Put this in the back of this guy. There you go. So, Joe, whatever you want to do. You can search
Free
my
control?
computer. Yeah. And then I'll talk to the chat. You have free control over whatever assets I've used. This is like fan art and stuff. Shout out to everyone who's ever done fan art for us.
All right, let me try some of this stuff here. Okay.
Higher than CPU Pentium 1, yes. You need to buy more rubies so you can upgrade from the 2 calculators that you're running right now.
Dang.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I do have Kakao Talk running. Anyway, so chat, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. If you guys have any suggestions for Joe, what he should put in the stream, then let him know. Oh wow, so you're gonna do like a Brady Bunch thing kind of going on? You got like a. Oh, Joe's using the cropping tool. There you go, crop
What
it up.
up? What up?
Dang, Joe's a fast learner.
Okay. I'm gonna do like boom.
King grab front and center. There you go.
Okay, and then we got.
Any updates on Devilian? Oh, actually no updates on Devilian. Devilian's still in development.
Yeah, once we have more information on that, guys, we will share that with you.
Does the Mobizen app for Android also record sounds? Yes, sounds also come through. I guess I'll use this time to explain that. So, when you're broadcasting and things like that, one of the things that people brought up is that the broadcaster has to account for lag. So the chat is happening in real time, and our video is also happening in real time. But it takes a while for the video to go out there into the interstellar space.
The ether.
Yeah, the ether. The Nexus. And then for all of you viewers to download the video. So however long that takes, I believe it's around 20 seconds, maybe? Which is pretty fast. There is a little bit of delay between the chat and the video, right? So the broadcaster should take into account that kind of that lag. Idea for a competition. Guess how many times you guys say "boom" in the stream. Ooh.
Boom.
That would mean you someone has to keep track, right?
Let's see, how do I go back?
You want more? You can go into this folder right here.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This laptop is touchscreen too, which is pretty cool. There's a Critical logo, Darkness Reborn logos and stuff.
Let's see. Ooh, I think I'll take one of these.
One of those guys. Yeah. Reminder to you guys, especially to you, Joe, that when you're making these scenes, you don't necessarily have to crop all of them. You could just put it behind them, you know. And that's often what I do. So instead of like if you were to uncrop that picture that you just cropped, like make it bigger again. Oh, wait. You have to see the.
Yeah, I got you.
No, it didn't come out yet. Still didn't come out. No, still didn't come out.
Where is it? Where is it? Hold on.
The easier way to do it is just to hold
I'm
Alt
gonna...
first, and then no.
Why is it not? Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay, uncrop it. There you go. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't holding Alt there. Okay.
He wasn't holding Alt. So, anyways, so instead of making it so that you just crop it up, just put it behind the other scenes.
So I do that by just
dragging it all the way to the bottom, or clicking these like triangles. Yeah. So. Yeah, that'll just go like that. So you essentially got the same effect
without cropping.
Without cropping it, right? So that's often what I do when we stream our games. I'll have a full screen background and have images laying on top of it. Right. So there you go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then
I can just replay and count it for you, Miradron. Dang, it takes us 2 hours to stream this, and then I would have to replay it, which would be another 2 hours, just so I could count how many times we said boom. It's too much. It's too much.
So what we could do here, right, is take this.
Yeah, you can crop out that title. Boom. There you go. Boom. There you go. I said boom twice.
Who started doing boom? Was it you that was doing boom? Yeah, somebody started saying boom, and then it just kind of...
Pretty sure it was me.
You're like, boom, signed, sealed, delivered. So then we could right-click on that one and do color key.
Jazzman, you just redeemed 300 Revel points for 300 gold attributes. Thank you for being such an active user of Revlo. We will get your points out next week. Or your item out. Well, probably we'll get it out maybe Monday, I would imagine.
All right, how do I close this screen here?
Just click out of it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we got that. Okay, all right. Nice little just whatever screen. And
That's
then,
cool.
And then we could do, just like a column of just like different, even though it's 3 from the same game. But let's see, what else could we do here?
What else do you
Let me
want
look at some of these other things we got.
There's some more stuff if you scroll up, like some more folders that you can go into.
Okay,
There's
all right,
title
all right.
folders, templates,
Buttons.
Buttons. This is the buttons that we use
for our
for the bottom of the
Gotcha.
for the bottom of our page. These are just some screenshots. Oh, with Nick too. Shout outs to Nick wherever you are in the world. Rest in
We'll
peace.
go ahead and throw them. Oh, sad face. Should we get the sad face Nick in there?
Yeah, I like that.
Hold on.
That's not a sad face. It's more like a
He looks
bad
like,
face.
he looks pretty
like
sad
he's
though.
Super bad. What are you saving the points for, Dark Shadow Slayer? Oh.
Now, is there any way like to crop everything out around him, or does it have to be like an exact?
It has to be a rectangle or a square of some kind. Yeah. There's no way to do it. But what you can do is you can change the rotation of it. It's possible. You want to try to do that. So all right, he's cropping him out.
Okay.
How about rotate him a little bit? How about that?
All right, rotate. We gotta
right click. Yeah, go to layout.
Layout. Okay.
And then the middle one is called 2D, 3D transform. Right there in the middle. And
Okay.
you can do X is to do it like that. Or sorry, like that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Or Y to do it the other axis. I'm not sure what Z does. What does Z do? Look at it. She's like,
We'll do.
It's like
we could also
his
just
head
change it
banging.
there, right? 0.
yeah, 0. Ooh, and now he's shaking his head.
That one just flips
Nope,
it, right?
nope.
Yeah. All right, and then Y axis. I'm
What
assuming.
is Z?
Whoa.
Oh, it rotates it like from the center. Okay, that's what Z does. I see. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Okay, and then so cropping. Oh, so this is just like basically what we already did, though, right?
Uh-huh.
The whole.
It's like a number, more controlled way to do cropping.
Gotcha. Okay. And then position is basically where I dragged it to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so you can kind of get just like an exact if you have maybe it's something you want to like duplicate.
Yeah, make him so tiny.
Tiny.
Can't even see him anymore.
We could put it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even click on it, huh? Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
you can,
tiny.
you kinda can.
It's so tiny.
You kind of can. You can do it. There you go. You got it.
All right.
Oh.
No,
okay.
I didn't.
There you
I had to actually click on it.
Make
So.
it wider.
Dang. Wait. Which one was it? Was
Width.
it, width.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. There we go. There we go. Back to normal. Back to normal. Well, normal.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Normal-ish.
Shrink Ray.
So we could potentially do. I'm just having fun with this at this point, right?
Yeah. What's the point? You can have some fun. There's some other folders you can.
Oh, you know what we could do here? I'm gonna actually. This would be actually a good thing to talk about because you were telling me before, right? Is that in XSplit you can't undo changes.
Right. You can't.
Right, so
you
if
can't
I were
do
to-
Control Z.
If I were to
you messed up something, you
let's
can't
see, how do I
Control Z it.
just delete, right? Or I have to actually click on.
You have to click on it and then press delete. There you go.
So there's no way to actually
Undo it.
bring back.
Yeah, bring it back.
Bring it back, right?
Yeah,
so
right. Just like
I solved
relax.
this one, and I wanna. Boom. Okay, let's see.
That one's kind of cool. I like that one.
This one's a little
Look
bit
at
better.
you
right?
guys. Oh. Yeah. Select that. There you go. The top right corner. Ooh.
Boom.
So invested in whatever you guys are doing.
I know, right? And then, just for the sake of me trying this out, you could do add. We'll do what?
Oh, you can add.
Big Bell and Ding.
Add the video. There you go. That's us.
Whoa! Hey.
Make it go up a little bit.
No, don't move it because then it's gonna go. Okay, there we go. There we go. You see, so this is the kind of as I've expressed before, guys. This is something I've been, actually looking into to do in the sense of, doing my own personal stream. So I don't have access to a lot of stuff, but this is something potentially I do want to inevitably start doing on my personal time, though, right? Because I figured why not? I think I could get some good people in because part of it was obviously so this is the thing too we want to talk about, right? Is the overlay stuff, right? So if something is on top of it. So the picture right now, the picture of me and Nick is currently the one on the top, right? So I can't move anything over or around.
It's underneath you guys, yeah. So it's hard for you to select things that are underneath it, right? So you can kind of hide it. That's what I do.
So what? Just like that?
Just click, yeah.
So by clicking that, I know, right?
It'll go away.
No, it's okay. Yeah, we're okay. I got you, Meridon. Oh God, it's still there. So how would if I were to change the
order right there? That's how you change the order.
Yeah, but see, now I'm on top of this thing though. You see how my frame is on there. So why is that not? Even though it's underneath it, you know what I mean? Why is it still like registering as that? Is it because I'm clicking on it, so it's still?
Yeah, so you can still select the sources even though it's underneath it. It's just harder to do it.
Oh, because there's so many on top of one another.
Yeah, it's just harder. It's still there are ways that you can access the sources that are underneath other sources. It's just really difficult.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you out of the shot, John. I don't want you there.
Oh.
Oh wait, and then boom.
Let's make the screen bigger so they can see it on the screen.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
I should just like put my face right there on. So, if I remember correctly, too, we could do right click because we have the green screen behind us, right? So if we were to do what color, and then there's the Chrome key.
Yeah, exactly, Chroma key.
Okay,
there you go.
So now the green screen's been enabled, and now we are pretty much one with. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, Joe and Joe.
Oh no!
There's like in the stream, there's 3 Joes right now. Because we have our original camera, which is right here.
Oh yeah. Oh what? Oh no, there's so many. Woo! Ego boost. I love it. So this is cool. All right. I'm digging it. Who would would you guys ever watch my stream if I were to do a personal stream? I feel like I don't think I could do a stream at just like with nobody watching. I don't know.
Yeah. Joe, plug your stream and then these guys will watch it whenever you make one.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So what else could I potentially do with this then, John? So if I click outside of here, how do I undo? Am I always going to have that box around me, though? You see how there's a white box around me?
You can just click out of it. So, if you click over here.
Okay,
I usually click the biggest one. So it is kind of annoying to see those like white boxes. But
cool. Any other things I can add to this then? So we have video. Obviously, I don't have to add the mic because we aren't going to be really miking this at all. But
some other things that you can, some other options that you're able to do is do a projector. So you can projector onto screen 1. It'll show the active scene. So this is what the scene would look like as a projector, like what the stream output is. Since we hid the panel, we can't access it anymore. But yeah, you could do that. It's basically full screening it.
Oh yeah, we would also have to add the actual game too that we'd want, right? So if we were to do that,
it would just be add and then webcam and capture card video devices or something like that. Or for those of you who use something else to stream, let's say this is like your screen for that. This is as just an example, right? Let's say this is you have some people use BlueStacks or whatever, right? BlueStacks is an emulating way that you can get your mobile device or mobile games onto your computer. Mm-hmm. So let's say you don't have a capture card or anything like that, but you have a way to have your game on your computer, or you have a computer game. What you can do is you can do add and then screen capture. So basically what screen capture does is it'll record whatever is on your desktop or whatever window or anything like that. Or you can just even do like a section of
kind of like the snipping tool on
exactly
Windows.
So then boom, and it'll add it. So there it is.
So
anything that will go into this region will show up on your stream. So as you can see, my mouse is there, or anything that goes on top of it will also go in your stream now.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
okay.
I don't know if you guys can see that. Right, let me put that over. So there you go. So now this is being popped up on the stream.
How do you control where? Is that basically just anything that's on top of this?
Exactly.
The photo icon, right? Exactly. So if I were to Yeah, you're saying anything in this little box.
So it'll pop up. If as soon as it goes into that region, it'll show up.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, now you can't.
It's too small. Yeah.
Like
so it's just once it gets into that. All right.
Exactly, right.
So that.
Oh, you hit everything.
Dang it. Where'd it go? What'd I do, John? John, fix it. John, fix. Okay, cool. All is fine, guys. Don't worry.
40,
Don't worry. We're good.
One more thing I wanted to show you guys. So the very last thing is showing you guys the going live. So this is what it looks like when you're about to go live. As I mentioned before, the bit rate is really important. You don't want it to be too high. Usually bit rate goes around 2000. You want it to be as high as possible, but not too high. There you go. CBR.
Quote that now, huh?
CBR and VBR is your variable bit rate or constant bit rate. Sometimes the internet changes, as time goes on, signals move around and stuff like that. So this will be
electrons are connected to the neutrons.
This will be able to either have a constant 3,000. We're doing 3,000, so a constant 3,000, or
is that normal? What's usually a normal bit rate, or is there any normal bit rate?
Typically bit rates go around 2,000.
Okay.
Right. Around 2,000. That's kind of the range. And there's all these other stuff like your audio bit rate and what kind of formatting and things like that. Blah blah blah. Keyframes. That's more crazy stuff that you guys really don't need to get into.
Yeah.
There you go. High CPU usage.
Sweet.
Okay. So, anyways, that's all that. And then once you're ready, you can do output and then go start streaming.
Yeah. And that's that. So it's actually funny that you brought this up because there was something that I think Big Bellin mentioned. Is obviously having interacting with your audience, right?
Right.
If there's one thing I think a lot of people don't really take into consideration is the fact that if people are watching you, unless like you're, I know there's a couple of like pro League of Legends players that just kind of like people know them so they tune in, but they might not like really chat as much with the audience because they're mostly just playing and they build an audience just because they're so good, right? But like it's one of those things that definitely take into account when you're playing. Of just reading things, you know what I mean? For instance, if you're playing like an MMO or something like that, taking time to kind of like, maybe even like read the quest out loud and be like, oh, so and so has you, and just kind of making like it's all about kind of just making it entertaining for kind of the audience that's taking time to tune in to watch. You know what I mean? Because it's like
essentially you just want to make it so that people are entertained. Right?
Yeah, because I mean, like how many people are going to be playing the same game? How many people are doing it already? It's kind of like finding your kind of shtick that you like to do, and then just kind of running with it and kind of expanding off of that. And if you make it kind of entertaining, because the way I've always believed that not only information sharing but like Twitch and stuff like that is that the more entertaining and the more that you can kind of get information across, that I think it'll retain a lot better in people. Because and anybody can come up here and just be like, oh, here's what's coming to Dragon Blaze, this and that, this is what this is, and and this and that. But if you kind of like take time to kind of like I guess make it a little more engaging, make some references to kind of like bring it all together. It kind of it's like a baking cookies. You have to put all these recipes into it. And now I know someone mentioned cookies earlier, so
Tetra Ray had a question, tech question, before we get into going on to these tips. Is the bitrate really going to depend on what video capturing you are using? The output bitrate does not, but you kind of want to make it so that it's matching your source bitrate, if that makes sense. So yeah, it does not really affect it that much, but okay, I'll give you an example. There are some games that are not really graphic intensive, like mostly mobile games are not really huge graphically intensive games, right? You can stream those quite easily. However, if you want to go into more graphically intensive games, which is like, let's say like Overwatch or like maybe like WoW or something like
Crysis.
Crysis, those crazy computer games, Diablo, whatever. Even though your computer can handle the graphics and you can run it on max settings or whatever, right? If your internet is not strong enough, or if the website can't support it, that you're streaming off of the platform, you're gonna need more bit rates. More bit rates. You're gonna need more bit rate, more bandwidth in order to have it stream clearly on the stream, right? Mm-hmm. So even though like your computer can support it, that does not necessarily mean the website, and it doesn't necessarily mean your viewers can support it. So you gotta be mindful of that.
So how do you go about? Would you recommend or I guess not recommend, but how would you go about maybe potentially testing out to see if you could potentially handle a stream?
So
let's say I think I have the best internet and the best system possible. Like I know we personally have a test stream that we do. Would you just recommend maybe?
You can do
something
testing
like that, or?
Well, typically, this is another question. Big Bellin asked, do you stream in 1080 or 720? We stream in 1080.
Okay.
But usually, when it goes through Twitch, it will scale down to 720.
Okay, interesting.
So the reason why most websites, especially Twitch, do things like that is because oftentimes viewers can't watch, can't go up to 1080 or whatever, right? So your viewers will only be able to watch up to the amount that you broadcast at.
Yeah.
So if we broadcast at 1080, that's covering most of the ranges, like 720 or 480 and things like that.
Sweet. Okay.
So those are the reasons why. But if you go too crazy, then no one can watch it. There you go. So
Dark Shadow Slayer was asking what we mean in terms of chat incentives. I think this is, and you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Revlo. It's like Revlo.
Yeah, like Revlo.
Or like our wheel.
Yeah, kind of giving stuff to. It kind of falls into a fine or a kind of a weird area of. Bribing your audience versus giving them incentives, right? Because that's something. No, and I want to clarify it because there's been a lot of times that I've seen streams where maybe it might not necessarily be like saying like if you do this or if you give me this, like I'll do this. It's one of those things that it could easily turn into like what I'm saying like that, where it's like, oh, come watch, and you're getting more benefit than we are in that sense, which is like kind of like it's more so trying to pay tribute to like, hey, since you guys are so cool and you guys take the time to watch us and stuff like that, we're kind of taking some measures to kind of show you that we appreciate you guys joining us. Whether that's like I know they do the whole like subscriptions for certain streamers. Well, they'll do like maybe a subscription like giveaways or something like that. So if you're a subscriber, you could be eligible to win some stuff or something like that. And it's just those cases. So
those kind of chat incentives are not. They work kind of both ways. Like you can initially the reason why people would want to do a chat incentive is because they want to drive their activity, right?
Of course.
So those are different ways that you can drive activity, right? But it is in a way it kind of feels like, oh, we want to give these things out as bribery or something like that, to get more viewers. But it's more of a way to like activate the chat, if that makes sense. So like if they want to do like different things besides just pop in and watch people play. I know a lot of broadcasters who are really into getting like donations and like the followers and subscribers and things like that. So they'll have all these like goals or whatever. And there's our other streamers who really don't care about that stuff. But viewers are torn either way. The majority of the viewers don't want to contribute because it's for free,
right,
or whatever. But there is a large market of people a large audience of people who want to support, who want to give their whatever, right? So they want to enter these kinds of things. So it's two ways. As a broadcaster, you can't be asking too much, but in a way, you want to give your viewers something back, right?
Yeah.
So those are.
And I think it's very important, especially with what Miradon's saying, is essentially you can only really, I guess, not like sell out, I would say, but yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like you're going to be on here and be like, oh, so today, I'm going to run this. Brought to you by Mountain Dew, the dewest of dew. It's like stuff like that where it's like, but yeah, essentially it's those little things that you do to kind of show that you do care, and not necessarily using it as like advertisement for this and that and whatnot. But it's definitely important to find that balance between both the two, though. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So just definitely keep that in mind moving forward when you do potentially look into those, and definitely be cognizant of that for potential future streamers that you do tune into, where you look at that and you're kind of like, I feel like I'm trying to they're trying to sell me a product right now mostly. Right. So yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree, but
there's a couple more things I wanted to cover, and then we'll
please, yes.
So I put a pre-stream screen, so having other screens that are available to you. So the reason why I say pre-stream screen is that it takes a little bit of time for users to come into your stream once you're online, right? Mm-hmm. People are not gonna be like if you open a restaurant, people aren't gonna wait outside of your restaurant for you to open in order for them to like, oh, now we have all these people, let's serve them. You have to open it up first, then people are gonna start coming in, right? So that's what I mean by pre-stream screen.
Yeah.
It's a way to warm up your audience. Tech issues happen all the time. We talked about that earlier.
Of course.
And the most important thing about streaming is having fun.
How cliche. Yeah, I'd never have fun during these shows.
That's the main thing that'll be driving you. I'm right now,
prisoner, guys.
Right now, Miradron says, watch my stream, free kitten for the first 100
Yeah, that's what we're
Everyone
check
out Miradron's stream. Big Bellin also streams. Everyone who streams. Big thank you to everyone who streams our games, and everyone who watches our stream is very important to us. It lets us have fun streaming. It lets us do what we do, basically. So I'd like to open it now. If anyone has any questions about streaming, we'll answer it really quick.
Yeah. And while we do, the only last thing I wanted to mention is obviously the first one. I know we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but it could be really easy to fall into that dead chat dead air. That's why it's like we usually try to. I try to over-explain things sometimes. You know.
Keep talking.
Yeah, Dragon Blaze. I'm going through this zone. Blah blah. I kind of feel like this guy is really good for this. I've tried using him a couple of times. So because you're not always going to get chat activity. That's the thing. Or maybe you'll get chat activity that really isn't contributing. It really
depends on how many viewers you have.
Yeah, or maybe you get something that just doesn't contribute to the actual long term of things. But if you that's what it is. Especially for newer streamers, like you might not have a lot of people in there the first.
I've had a few streams where, I often have few streams where less than a handful of people would come in, and then that the chat activity kind of dampers after a while. So you as a viewer, you kind of feel alone. Or a broadcaster, you feel like a lone broadcaster. Like, what am I doing right now? And then it makes you kind of want to stop.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, Miradon, like that's important too, because we could say like, oh, why do you wear DVs? But it's like by visually stimulating somebody, like how many like viewer or streamers do you go and see? This guy's wearing a cowboy hat. This guy's doing wearing this big suit. There's like these little things that people do, and it's like not only do they build a fan base based off of kind of what they're doing in their whole like shtick, but it's something for people to talk about. And they go in there like, why are you wearing a cow costume? Why are you wearing this? Or why do you have this? It's these little things that you can kind of do to create a conversation rather than just trying to find one. So,
right. So, anyways,
that's my thing.
Open up the chat. You guys have any questions about streaming, broadcasting? I will gladly answer. In the meantime, I would like to spend 1 minute to introduce to you guys your new full-time host here on Gameville Television.
Get away.
So,
you guys already know her.
Hi guys.
Oh, the transition messed it up.
Dang.
This is a long transition too.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now you're gonna meet nobody.
All right.
It's Sandy.
So
not
you guys
Cindy.
know Sandy. She's
the real
popped
Sandy's
in.
here.
She will be your guys' full-time host starting next Friday. Or next Friday. This coming Friday.
Yeah.
This coming Friday.
So she's going to be on the roasting block here, guys. Take it easy on her. Obviously, Sandy's been on a couple of streams so far, primarily After Pulse. She's been, I think she's got what it takes to kind of be here.
Yeah.
Stand up to the greatness known as Deep V. So it's also
Nick
known maybe as
2.0.
Nick 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I could be as angry as Nick. But
Whoa!
I'll try.
Already firing away. I like it.
No, but he has that good vibe, like angry, funny vibe. But I'll try my best to entertain you guys.
to be just as angry, or
yeah, just as angry or fun or funny somehow.
Fair enough.
I'll
So a lot of this, guys, and I'm actually looking forward to, because Sandy has had a lot of experience on Afterpulse. She's been playing that game a lot, so it's going to be kind of cool to bring her into because for a while now we've kind of been doing Dragon Blaze, Critica, and it's almost been kind of in the sense of, since me and Nick are pretty fluent in those games, it's going to be kind of a good way to, because we're constantly getting in new viewers and people might not be as well versed, and sometimes I think we run away with talking about things that may be a little more overcomplicated in terms of those games. So when it comes down to Sandy now being here, it can kind of like take a moment to kind of almost put the brakes on and kind of revisit what certain games are, what we're actually doing, and that's what we're kind of going back to from saying is you want to almost over-explain things sometimes to kind of build a
kind of over-explaining right now, Joe.
Yeah,
kind of like, when is this gonna?
I'm just
stop
talking. Yeah, I'm just trying to say. You want dead air? Fine.
Ayush, what's up?
Ayush is here.
What will you say?
I know, I recognize that guy. But yeah, I'm gonna be a big noob.
Tetra Ray has a good question.
Cut off
a lot of games.
Yeah, cut this girl off. Whatever she's talking about. Okay. Tetra says, while there are a lot of things not to do, what would you say a big one is? What would you say is a big don't do?
A big no-no?
Don't curse on stream? No, do they?
That really depends on your
it depends on your stream. On your stream, your style.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess as I'll open it up and saying probably don't do drugs on stream.
Yeah.
Don't.
No,
those are just terms of service stuff.
Yeah.
That's you can.
Twitch
doesn't stop alcohol.
I've seen actually a couple of streams where it's and I don't think people realize though, because it's I get it, gamers sometimes they want to chill out, but I've seen actually a couple of gamers or streams that people are just casually just token up, and it's
I know.
Probably don't do that.
I know one. So don't get. Don't get mad at your viewer.
Don't get mad.
So oftentimes there's going to be a lot of trolls and stuff that will come into the chat.
Yeah.
Right. So it's up to you to kind of get thick skin and not necessarily entertain the trolls.
Yeah.
But you can't also be get out of here. Flush this guy. You can't ban people. You can't go crazy. No one likes a tyrant leader, what I mean?
Yeah, I mean there are obviously you can use Moobot to kind of put in restrictions for certain things and whatnot, but it's and I get it, guys. It's really hard to. Yeah, you do have hair.
Don't go Trump on viewers.
Oh, okay. All right. There.
Did I just? Oh, sorry. Don't go.
I think just get out of here now. Just go. Yeah, you're good.
No,
but it's really easy to want to fire back, and honestly, it's I guess in your human nature to want to defend and this and that, but honestly, back to the whole words will never hurt me kind of thing. Who cares? People can be mad and people can do stuff, but don't eat on stream as well too. So that's
you can eat on stream. There's something like that, but
and not when you're trying to talk though. Give yourself some time.
Right. Respect other hosts.
Yeah, when you become a broadcaster or host or anything like that, you want to be a hero for the people. You're of the chat now.
Yeah.
You don't want to be against them. So, yeah.
And but there are people who do, not to say that you should be doing it, but there are people who do build an audience off of being, forgive me for saying a jackass though, who will attack people, who will, cut into people. And it's if that's your stick, I get that Twitch sometimes, has multiple personalities kind of doing their own thing, but it's just I don't like the fact that people can kind of build an audience based off just being like that to their viewers. I guess it's a facade, but it's I don't know. Don't do that. Try to be natural. Try to be you, and ultimately you're doing this for the love of the game, so to speak. So
this is kind of all the. I feel like it's all advice for me.
I know.
This is coming onto the show.
In a way,
pretty much.
It's all helping me
not
too.
just you.
Yeah.
Being all selfish.
Okay. I know if not everything is about me, but
way to go, Sandy.
Right.
Way
so we are about out of time. I don't think anyone's asked any real hard hit questions about cameras and stuff like that and our bit rates and things, but so I hope I answered everyone's questions. I hope this shed a light for anyone.
very informative, actually. Yes,
Anyone
yes.
who's
Yeah.
looking to start their own broadcast. Yeah. There you go. Sandy, you should have been practicing out.
Yeah, I have been a little bit, but not too much. I will be
Anyways.
this week.
She's
get
like,
ready
damn,
for
they're
this."
calling me out. I gotta say,
Oh my
you know.
God.
Thank you guys for watching. Look forward to your 2 new hosts for the great Gameville TV.
Future. So, with that being said, guys, be sure you stop by Friday. We will be doing a Dungeon Link update preview. That's going to be coming next week. So, but more importantly, it's going to be this girl's first time on stream.
Oh my gosh.
Well, not first time. You've been on it for a couple, but this is your first rodeo.
Yeah.
Though. So yeah, feel free to stop by here. If you guys liked this show, we're always wanting to hear some feedback from you guys. If you might want to see some potential future stuff like this. Obviously, we're not going to do continuous shows about streaming. I think we've kind of covered the basics here and whatnot. But yeah, if this is something you do want to continue seeing, I know, like I said, we've done the Gameville draw stuff. We've done this. So any potential future guide shows we might consider, feel free to let us know. And yeah, from all of us here at Gameville, guys, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you Friday.
Friday, see you Friday.
Bye.